Hello, happy Sunday. I'm happy you're here. Today we're going to talk about color. I am excited to show you a really easy way that we can totally change the color story, make it really unique and really interesting. It's super easy. All we're gonna do is change out the color that we use for the shadows, change out our darks. I'm gonna show you what I mean.
Here we go. Now I am going to work in my Ohuhu marker pad. It is my favorite sketchbook. It's huge, it's got like 78 pages, and it's marker paper, and it comes with this like plastic thing that you put in between the pages so that the marker doesn't bleed through, because it will absolutely bleed through to the other page. So this helps it so it doesn't ruin the thing on the other side. So let's go to a new page. So I'm gonna just quickly sketch out some things. I can go over sketching techniques at a different time, but right now I'm just gonna quickly put something down. I'm gonna be using my rose pencil that I have. Rose, I guess you don't need to see the name, you already know what it's called. Anyway, so I am gonna just sketch a couple girls here. We'll have a couple different things that we can do. So I'll be back with you in just a sec. A couple girls sketched out. Before I get started, everything that I'm going to be using, all of this color theory, is just based off a simple color chart. So I'm using complementary colors. I'm going to link the color wheel down below so you can get a sense of what that looks like if you're not familiar with it. I don't think I'm quite the person to be teaching that, so just know that it'll be complementary colors. So I'm gonna look, the last thing that I drew, I used sort of a pink, like warm shadow color. Oh yeah, this. So I'm gonna go for something cool this time. And I really have been loving this G606, it's like really bright green. So I'm going to start on this girl on the right, and I'm just going to lay down some shadows. I tend to go for a pretty standard lighting story. Lighting isn't quite what excites me. I don't really have a desire to find any like crazy shadows or anything like that. So I'm just going to lay down this really basic like contour, like in the face where it would go in. So the eyelids, the forehead that will kind of turn away from you, this hair that will be underneath, the neck. And you can combine those shadows. That is something that really helps your work feel a little bit more finished, is to the neck shadow and that shadow underneath. Oh, and on this side, you can combine all of those. So it's sort of one big shape that helps tell our lighting story a little easier. So I'm just going to go to the bullet point on the other end. Just hitting all the darkest spots. So the darkest spots on your face would be your pupils, your nostrils, and the corners of your mouth. so this is where the complementary comes. I'm going to use sort of a pinky orange color. So pink, red will be directly on the opposite side of the color from green. So I'm going to start laying it down. I'm not going to lay down all in the deepest part of the shadow. So I just sort of overlapped them a little bit. And that's really so you can see the color. There's really not any reason other than I like to be able to see the color. So if you kind of layer the shadows, you can see both as well as the mixed color. So I'm just gonna sort of use this to like redraw, sort of find the shape, find the edges. This is really quick and I'm not used to drawing like on camera. So just, you know, it's not perfect, but bear with me. Okay, so we'll even hit her cheeks, her nose, we can hit her lips, just to help give her face some warmth, the bottom of her cheek. No, the bottom of her chin. The bottom of her chin. Okay, so now we just have to decide another color to introduce. So I really like this bright blue. It's just right in front of my face, so I'm just going to grab it. We're just going to hit her eyelashes, her nostrils, the corners of her mouth again. I like to define those ears. If you're familiar with my work, you know how much I love those humongous ears, so I like to make sure that those have some definition. Define her hair a little bit. Cool. So then, if we want to make it a little bit more dramatic, this is the only time that I condone introducing black, because I don't love black in general, but this for like the eyelashes and the super be like sparse. You know, be very critical about where you're laying down these dark black. With this girl, and she looks really cute, pretty simple, but you can expand on that really easily. And so for her, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to go in with a colored pen. These they're like knockoff flares from Amazon Basics, and I love them. They're porous tip pens. They're so much fun, and I really especially love this blue one. So I'm going to use it as inking, so I'm not going to hit every single line. I'm not copying, I'm redefining, right? So I'm finding her eyes. I'm not going to follow all the lines that I put down originally. I'm going to be critical of what I've done and reshape it if I need to. Oh, we'll hit her cheeks. That helps a lot to help bit fill dimensional, so just do a circle on the cheek, circle on the nose. It doesn't have to be perfect. So yeah, I don't know how well you can see this red pen, but it really just adds a little bit something extra. Just introduce another color. And sometimes I lay down colors and they look horrible together, and that's just a lesson learned. That, you know, those two don't go well together. I have blue, I'll introduce orange. Yeah, that's nice. That's not too dark. It's also not too bright. It's a little bit more subdued than the like green that we've used. It's almost a little bit more natural. I'm just gonna hit the parts that would be fall and shadow. About this process, especially if you're using alcohol markers, watercolor markers, anything that has some level of translucency, is all of the colors that you lay down will sort of layer and mix on top of each other. So that blue, like with that orange on top, it's creating this almost like purpley lilac kind of pink. It's so gorgeous, and I never would have expected that from those two colors. I'm gonna pick another color. I don't think I'm gonna go anything crazy. I actually just think I'm gonna stick with orange and go a little bit more saturated. So this is gonna be, oh yeah, just like a bright orange. It's one step sort of more saturated than the last one. Maybe a couple steps. Shadows, but we don't want to cover up every single part of the light orange that we've done. Make them work together. This will be sort of mid shadows and deep shadows. Now, if we wanted to like add a skin color, I'm just gonna pick sort of a light skin color just because it's a little bit easier to find. It's a little bit easier to find just like on the fly. I find dark skin very challenging to draw, which is frustrating because I have dark skin. But I'm working on it, I promise you. So, okay, we'll just put this really super quickly. You don't have to like make sure every inch is covered. I actually like to make sure that there's some white left. Like you can see her eye whites are still pretty much there. It sort of gives the illusion of a highlight. And then if we add in this blue, super light still, but it enhances that even further. The last thing I want to do is just add this really dark like teal color. I'm going to do her eyelashes, her dark spots on her face in this. that little crook in her ear and her jewelry. And this is just a really good example of how you can replace black and it really still reads as black. So yeah, this is pretty much my process. Take a picture of it, tag me on Instagram, let me know how it works for you, and I'll be back next week. Bye!